Private Frank Morris Wells, 248th Infantry Battalion here. An image preserved by the Australian War Memorial shows the Roll of Honor entry for Private Frank Morris Wells, NX119119 of the 248th Infantry Battalion. His story represents not only personal sacrifice, but also the courage and endurance of one of Australia's most decorated wartime units. I wasn't able to find any credible historical record naming the woman seen with Private Frank Morris Wells in the 1944 photograph. She appears to be a member of the Australian Women's Army Service, AWAS, an important non-medical women's service during Double Tour. Given the time period, it's likely she was serving in New Guinea or nearby, as AWAS members were among the first non-medical women posted there. However, without a caption, official metadata, or matching archival documentation, it's not possible to identify her name. Personal details. Full name: Frank Morris Wells. Rank: Private Service Number NX119199 Unit 248th Infantry Battalion, Australian Imperial Force, AIF. Wells was born on 20th of March 1922 in Sydney, New South Wales. He grew up in Milsons Point, North Sydney. Before the war, he was employed as a cadet journalist, a role that reflected his gift for writing and attention to detail, qualities that would later be evident in his wartime diaries. He enlisted in the Australian Army on 3 October 1941 at North Sydney. His commitment to service at the young age of 19 came at a time when Australia faced growing threats in both Europe and the Pacific. Frank was the son of Ernest William John and Edith Lillian Wells of Glen Osmond, South Australia. His father also served in the Army as Sergeant Ernest Wells, NX13524, and left behind writings from his own wartime experiences, creating a shared family legacy of service. The 248th Battalion, part of the 26th Brigade, 9th Division, earned distinction in the Second World War. Its campaigns included Tobruk, El Alamein, Leh, Scarlet Beach, and Saddleburg. Known for its fighting spirit, the battalion became the most highly decorated Australian unit of the war. Although the battalion's earlier victories in North Africa predated his enlistment, Wells joined it during its Pacific campaigns. He served in New Guinea, where the unit fought in difficult jungle conditions before preparing for the final Allied offensives in Borneo. In May 1945, the 248th Battalion took part in the landings on Tarakan Island, Borneo. The operation aimed to secure an airfield and oil resources, but quickly turned into a prolonged and costly struggle against entrenched Japanese resistance. Australian forces suffered over 200 killed and hundreds more wounded. Private Wells was killed in action on 24 May 1945 during the fighting on Tarakan. He was only 23 years old. His sacrifice came just months before the war ended, highlighting the high price paid by young Australians in the closing stages of the conflict. Wells is buried at the Labuan War Cemetery in Malaysia, engraved 24A5. His headstone bears the striking inscription, "Judea, do or die." The words carry deep symbolic weight, hinting at spiritual conviction and a fierce sense of identity and purpose. Among his enduring contributions are 17 diaries written during his service on Morotai and Tarakan in 1945. These journals, preserved in the Australian War Memorial, provide vivid insight into the thoughts and daily life of a soldier in the Pacific. Together with his father's writings, they form a rare intergenerational record of service. Private Frank Morris Wells is honored on Panel 64 of the Roll of Honor at the Australian War Memorial. His name is projected in the Hall of Memory on commemorative dates, ensuring his story continues to be remembered. Through his service, sacrifice, and writings, Wells remains a symbol of both the cost and the courage of Australia's wartime generation.